Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Lori. This is Ask Dr. Lori Live, and I'm looking at your objects and giving those appraisals. I'd like to see what you've got. If you're interested in art, antiques, or collectibles, I'm going to tell you what you've got and what it's really worth based on actual sales records. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. It's free. It's very easy to do at drloriv.com. Just go to, of course, the website, and you can see it right there where the free thumbs up is. Go down there to sign up for Dr. Lori's newsletter. Put your email address right there, sign up, and when we send out the newsletter, we will send it to you. So remember, it's free. Thanks for being with me. My guests are here from all over. I'm going to look at their art, antiques, and collectibles and talk about what they are and what they're really worth. Let's see what they've got.
Hey, Dr. Lori.
How are you? Then we've got a lamp, and we've got a piece of jewelry, and we've got something that's a partial because I can't see all of it because she's down here, and the lamp is too close, so I can't see that. So you got to back up, and the jewelry is too close to the camera too. Oh my gosh, everybody's too close to the camera tonight. Let's go with the lamp. Let's go with the lamp. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, Dr. Lori.
Nice to see you. What's your name?
Chris.
Hi, Chris. What have you got there? Is that piece marked on the underside?
It's not marked on the underside. There is a faint marking right here.
Find your camera, babe. Find your camera.
Sorry.
That's all right. You're too close. Back up. There you go. In front of your body. Right here is where it needs to be.
Okay.
There it is. Okay. All right. So, so you've got a transfer piece there, and then you've got some hand painting with this particular lamp. Lamps are very, very popular, very collectible. A lot of people like them. Is there anything on the other side, like what would be the back of the lamp?
No, just plain.
No. Okay, so it's one-sided. Okay, fine. And how did you acquire it?
At an estate sale.
How much do you think it's worth?
Well, I paid $45 for it.
Did you pay too much for it? How tall is it?
It's 10¼ inches. Just
that plug indicates that the lamp dates to about the 1960s into the 1970s, and you've got one of the Franklin sockets, which is pretty typical. I would say value on your lamp no more than $60.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might probably pay too much. Are you going to try to resell it?
No, I really like it. So I think
good. Then you enjoy
this one. Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So a couple things when it comes to lamps, you want to make sure that you're looking for, again, certain aspects of it. That one probably needs to be rewired because, of course, you want to make sure that you have all the safety precautions when you're dealing with electricity. So my guests are here from all over. Let's see what they've got. There's someone. Hello. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Your camera needs to be horizontal, please.
Oh.
Yeah, needs to be horizontal if you can. Uh-oh, dun-dun-dun. All right, you work on that. She'll get to it. Horizontal cameras, plain backgrounds are required. And then, of course, the less movement, the better. But let's see what we've got. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Lori. I'm Carol from Long Island.
Hi, Carol. What's happening there?
I found this today for $1.50. And I don't know if it's real. It is marked Gucci, Italy.
Okay.
It's a letter opener.
Okay. Can you back up so we can see all of it? Keep going back. There it is. Now we can see all of it. So a couple things that say it's Gucci. First of all, the coloration and also that curve. You're going to see that curve. You know, Gucci, the family basically made a lot of pieces, accessory pieces. And there was a time when they started to get into blotters and desk pieces and office pieces, letter openers and such. I have appraised many different items and featured many different Gucci items. Everything from accessories, ties. There was a shoehorn that came in for one of the Real Bargain shows too. So you got this where did you get this? At the thrift store?
I got it at the thrift store for $1.50.
$1.50 is wonderful. So are you going to keep it or you think you might resell it?
No, I'll probably resell it. I was just concerned about the enamel. It's not as clean as I thought it would be for Gucci.
Okay.
So, but it is clearly marked. Actually, I took a picture of the mark.
Okay, so there's the mark that says Gucci, Italy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not crazy about the mark.
Oh, okay.
But Gucci's nice. Here's what I don't like about the mark. I don't like the spacing in between the Gucci and the Italy. People are going, oh my gosh, it's called, leading and kerning in graphic design. So I don't really like the way in which you've got the leading is actually a little bit too close on where it says, show us your picture again so everybody can see what I'm talking about. You see where it says Gucci and it says Italy? You see how it's off? Okay.
Oh, so, yeah, it's
not lined up. And then if you'll notice, the G is closer to the T and then it goes up, right? You see how it goes up? It's not a straight. It's not like both of them are straight. Right. One goes up a little bit toward the CCI. Yeah. So that's problematic. And that's where people go, how does she know this? That's 50,000 objects a year with these eyes. I look at a lot of stuff. Yeah, so when something's wrong, it comes right out at me. Now, having said that, you were looking at the enamel and you're saying it doesn't look clean and sharp. Those lines are not sharp. So that's why you start to question it, right?
Right.
So how much would you sell it for? I think it's a fake. How much would you sell it for?
Well, they have one on one of those higher end websites, the like First Chance.
How much would you sell it for is the question.
But they have it listed for $850.
Okay, but it's not, yours is not the real thing, and theirs may or may not be the real thing either.
Right.
And now you're looking at list prices. Anytime you look at a list prices, you might be following someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Oh, I would be happy, if it was real, I would have been happy with $200 or $300.
Doesn't matter if you're happy with it. You want to get what it's worth, don't you?
Sure.
Right? I mean, you want to get what it's worth. So yours is not real, in my opinion. Yours is not, of course, the Gucci manufactured piece. Your piece is a knockoff. It's a good knockoff, but it's a knockoff all the same. What do you think it's worth?
$50.
It's probably worth somewhere around $35.
$35. Okay. Yeah. Well, for $1.50.
Exactly. For $1.50, it's great. Somebody's going to take a chance on it. They're going to go, it is Gucci. It might be Gucci. You know what I mean? But, in my opinion, not the real deal.
Thanks.
Nice to see you.
You too.
Good luck. Happy hunting.
Thanks.
It's still cool. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just basically when there's a mistake like that, and most of the mistakes are oftentimes made in the marking. They try to mark it to make it look like, oh, it's the right thing. And that's problematic. Thank you for your super chats and super stickers. It helps support the channel, and the channel helps support you, right? So many people are saying, Dr. Lori, you taught me this and I made money this way. Dr. Lori, you taught me this. And I, of course, am building a great collection for myself. And, when you support the channel, you also support everybody else, because the people who can't send a super chat or super sticker or, decide not to, you're helping the whole community. So thank you very much for that. You can, of course, send super chats and super stickers as you can. Thanks very much for watching. That's very important. And for sharing, because I see a lot of these videos, you're going, I want to see a video about this and I want to see a video about that. And the videos are out there, but, I need you to watch them. So let's see. My guests are here. Let's see what they've got. Excuse me. So we've got this, which is a blue necklace.
The green. Yeah, it's green.
That I have to say that connection is not great.
Sorry.
Yeah, connection's not good.
No.
Little better. How long is it?
14 inches. And it does say sterling. It's the only marking I can find on it.
Did you test the stones?
No, I have not yet.
Okay, you need to test the stones.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, the faceted cut stones in sterling, they do look like they are green crystals rather than a tourmaline or something else. So they
it was the chain that was like that really caught my eye on it. Just the way it's latched, and it has the what you call it, the barrel. I guess that's a barrel clasp when it goes inside it.
In front of the camera for me, hon. There you go. Yeah. So a nice hefty clasp. A couple things. If she'll hold it up a little higher, we'll do a little bit better job. So when you see these when you see those open elements, they're sort of like these slits at the bottom. That's usually indicative of the mid 20th century, right? So think 1945 to 1965 or so. And then a nice heavy weight, and that's why it's sterling silver. It's also marked. Usually the mark is on the clasp or near the clasp. Where's your mark?
The mark is actually on this part right here.
Okay, so on the clasp.
Yeah.
And then the other thing about it is the way in which the light is catching the actual stone does look more like crystals than it does colored crystals. Good, high quality colored crystals than it does something else. How long is the necklace?
14 inches.
Oh, so it's a choker.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Okay, all right. But nice, good looking. I would say retail value, you're probably around $150 if they're crystals. I'd test those stones.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to test them.
Are you going to resell it?
What you said. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, sweetie. Are you going to resell it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about reselling it. This is actually one of the pieces from my mother that I really liked for some reason. It just has a Renaissance look to it that I for some reason, I don't know, it just reminds me of it. So I kind of like that style and that
I think
look.
it's much more Art Deco than it is Renaissance.
Well,
but you know, you want to throw around some movement words. It doesn't hurt. All the art movements are good. That's not bad.
It would look good with the dress that I got that was all, you know, straight up Renaissance. It had the ties, everything. There wasn't a zipper or a button on the thing.
All right. Well, good enough. Good
Thank you very much, Dr. Lori.
Thanks so much. Nice, though. Nice piece, but you got to test the stones. You got the Presidium Gemstone Tester and a lot of other recommended products that we have on our specials and shop page at drloriv.com. I do get compensation when you purchase one of those recommended products, but I want you to really think about that. So test them because, you know, and maybe she just didn't have time to do it. She'll get to it. I'm so happy that you're learning. I'm so happy that you are, in fact, supporting the channel. That's very helpful. We had a great class last night. We always have fun in class. Class isn't really like a class. Class is a lot of learning, but a lot of fun too. So I enjoy that very much. And I'm glad everybody who was with me enjoyed it too. And I hope you'll look at our classes. That's in the event schedule. I hope you'll look there too. Anyway, but lots of things to talk about. So much going on. Very, very busy. Lots of podcast interviews and new tapings for the channel and all the rest. Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
What's happening? What's your name?
Martha.
Hi, Martha. Where are you today?
Texas.
Texas. All right.
Yes.
So what have you got? Can you back up a little bit so I can see your whole object? I know it's hard because you're trying to hold a phone or something and show me an object. You might want to put the phone stationary if you can. Or find a friend maybe. Oh, there you go. That's good. So where'd you get this lamp, Martha?
I got it in a garage sale.
Garage sale? Okay. So ceramic lamp, of course, incised decoration when they carve in incised decoration, molded through basically. Pretty big. How tall is it?
15.
And
15 inches?
Yes.
And I'm sorry.
Yes.
15 inches. Okay. Okay. And then was the shade on it or did you add the shade?
Without the shade.
It was on the lamp when I purchased it. No.
Okay, when you purchased it had the shade. A couple of different things. First of all, usually you don't see a floral lamp like that with a very modernist base. Okay. So you see those curves on the top of the lamp? So that might have just been somebody's style. They liked that shade. They thought it was pretty, and that's fine. But that's not what goes with that type of lamp. So you got to think about that if you're trying to resell it. So are you going to keep it for yourself or you think you might resell it?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Because I kind of like it.
Okay, kind of like it.
A sign.
That was my next question. So it's signed on the bottom. What does it say? Something Navajo?
Yes, something Navajo. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Something Navajo, and then there's another little element at the LAVIR Navajo at the top.
Something like that, yeah.
You see the initial? There's an initial there, and then there's a last name, LAVIR.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yes. All right. Relatively recognizable ceramic artist of New Mexico, 15 inches long. What'd you pay for it?
$10.
$10. Did you negotiate at $10 or did you say
no, I didn't even
$10.
$10.
Doing it. Yeah. All right. Okay. So how much would you sell it for? Say you're gonna sell it. What would you do?
I don't know, 170 maybe?
170? You figure it's worth 10 times, it's worth a lot more than what you paid. What is that? 17 times more than what you paid. If I got that right, I might not have that right. So 170. I think 170 is very high for that, although it's signed. So I like that. I don't think 150 is too high for that, though.
Okay.
So you're not too far. You're not too far off. But in this market, I'd probably stay closer to $150 for it because it's 15 inches long. It's Very nicely done. It doesn't look like there's any damage to it. No chips, no cracks, no inclusions, no abrasions. And it's signed, and it's also Native American. Now, here's the deal. You might have to sell it outside of Texas because there's more of this type of stuff in Texas than there would be in New England, for example. So I want you to look at a global market. So when I teach my class about selling, how to sell old stuff for profit, which I'm teaching coming up, I always tell people there's different strategies that I want you to learn in order to sell for the most. So $150 for your $10 investment, not bad, darling.
Not bad. Should I keep the shade or change it?
I would not change the shade. I wouldn't change the shade. I would just basically try to sell it as is. If you see with your buyers it becomes a problem, then they go, oh, I don't like the shade, or oh, can you change the shade? Then maybe you just say, okay, no, it's just the lamp without the shade. But I wouldn't go messing with it. I think I'd leave it alone. I don't like the shade. I don't think it's the original shade.
Right,
but
yeah.
Selling it with a shade is more of a complete package than if you said, I'm going to take it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Laurie.
You're welcome, babe. I don't think you're going to get more money for changing it and getting the correct shade. I don't think you'll really benefit from doing that if you're going to resell it. If you love it for yourself, then you love it for yourself. And that's how it goes. So thank you very much for your super chats and super stickers. And people say, oh, she's thanking too many people. She's thanking too many. I'm sorry. My channel, I'm thanking people. That's how it goes. That's how it is. So, and I appreciate it in any amount. It all helps. It all helps. And thank you very much for watching. I'm seeing that, you guys got to watch. You're going, I don't see any of your videos about this or any of your videos about that. Well, you know what? You're not using the binge link, and the binge link is something that will really help all of you. The binge link is easy to find at drloriv.com. Go to the specials page, scroll down. There's a big red button. That's where the binge link is. And the binge link will help all of you. So cut and paste that little bit.ly, that HTTPS, and put it into your browser, right? You just put it up into your browser. That will help you. Anyway, lots of fun, great objects, some cool pieces, some great people, all of you, great. And I want to know what you guys think. What do you think that lamp should be sold for, right? So I want you to think about that and write it in the comments. And let's see where you're from, too, in the comments. Where are we talking to today? My guests are here. Let's see what they've got. We've got a blue bowl, a very blue bowl. Hi.
Hi, Dr. Lori.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I'm from Tennessee.
What's your name?
I'm Kim.
Hi, Kim. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis. I like Memphis. I had a good time in Memphis. I remember I was having lunch on Beale Street, and I had to do an interview, and I had to go outside and talk on the phone because it was so loud and fun in the restaurant I was in Memphis that I couldn't.
We just had our Christmas party on Beale Street. It's really
really?
Nice.
Memphis is a lot of fun. I had a very good friend who worked at one of the TV stations there. So tell me about your bowl.
So I got this. I actually got 4 bowls. So it's the smallest of all 4, all blue pattern, because I really like the blue pattern. And I was trying to look up because this one doesn't really have a mark on the bottom. All the others have the mark. Okay. So
what's your bowl made of? Let's start from the easy part. What's your bowl made of?
It looks either porcelain. I'm guessing porcelain. It's
bone china.
It could be.
Okay. Do you know the difference between porcelain and bone china?
I don't. I'm just getting started. So
that's fine. You don't have to know. But basically, I want you to start with materials because everybody's just using. I always say you're using those marks as a crutch. You should know which particular, and that's fine. This is about learning. It's not a criticism in any way, shape, or form. It's about learning. So, okay. So you've got this piece and you're saying, I like this piece, but typically bone china is going to be much thicker because it uses bone ash in the actual composition of the ceramic. Then of course, porcelain. So hold it up a little bit higher because we're not seeing all the bowl. There we go. And you've got this piece and it doesn't have a mark, but it does have an Asian feel. It has a scalloped rim. It has a relatively deep bowl, which is typical of Asian ceramics. And on the bottom portion, it has a geometric pattern. Can you show me the bottom? There you go. Yeah. So you see that pattern that repeats all the way around. Okay.
Yes.
So this particular piece also has some hand painting underneath the final glaze. So, but you notice how it's muddy? It's not very specifically detailed. Do you see that? Do you know what I mean when I say it's muddy? It's kind of like there's a lot of blobs of color.
Yes.
Okay. I like the shape of it. I don't like the hand painting very much. Can you show us the inside?
Yes. So
there you go. Okay. So now you're doing fine. On the very inside, you have more of a decorative and a more specific hand painting. Whereas on the sort of curve of the bowl, there's some detail, but most of it is really quite muddy. So you don't see the contrast of the blue and white. And most people who are collecting blue and white, and people love blue and white, I love blue and white myself. So most people who are collecting blue and white actually are looking for that contrast of the white. So there's not enough white here against all of this blue. That's one of the problems with the piece. Unmarked, the piece is made in China. It probably dates to about 1950, 1960. How big is it in diameter?
I'm guessing about 14 inches.
14 inches?
I'm not
sure. So a ruler is here. I'm thinking it's more like 8 inches.
Yeah,
it's
probably.
More like
okay, yeah.
8 inches. Yeah, okay.
You're right.
But that was good because use your hand, figure out how big your hand is, and your hand is hopefully always with you, right? So that's a good measuring stick. All right. How much did you pay for it? Where'd you get it?
Well, again, I got all 4 bowls for $20, so about $5 a piece. Okay. They're all kind of the same look and feel. They're different.
So you paid $5 for this one. They're not all the same at all. You showed me English bowls, you showed me an American bowl, and now you're showing me a Chinese bowl. So they are not all the same, darling. So yes, they're blue-white, but they're not all the same, Kim.
This is the only one that looked more Asian. The others have kind of like that England.
Right. That's why when you're saying they're the same, they're not the same. And that's what I want everybody to learn. So value. Okay. So how much, are you going to resell this? Or are you keeping it for yourself? You're building your own collection.
I'll probably keep it. I'm collecting a lot of little blue and whites.
What do you think it's worth?
I don't have no idea. Probably $50.
It's worth about $30. It's nice. Okay. And every time you add to your blue and white collection, you're going to increase value a little bit, about $35. Keep up the hunt.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, sweetheart. She'll do fine. She's decided she likes blue and white. That's great. And she'll look at these pieces, she'll get more pieces. She'll start to learn, oh, you know what? This piece might be the first pieces as she continues on this journey. The first pieces might be the ones she said, I can't believe I ever actually bought that because now I know better. You learn as you go. It's really fun. Steph, thank you for your support. I always appreciate it. It's appreciated, all of you, of what you're doing to help the channel, because every time you watch, every time you use the binge link, every time you say, oh, I'm going to give Dr. Lori a super chat or a super sticker, or ask a question or a comment, you know, what did you think her bowl was worth? Would you have paid more for it? You know, anytime you take a class, right? You're, of course, helping out all the way. But anyway, it's good to see all of you. And Lori's here again. Don't forget about, you know, merchandise. She's showing some of our merchandise there. The Dr. Lori says I'm priceless. I do think you're all priceless. Uh-oh, we've got some Vegas adventures. Yikes. That can be fun. I've had some fun with my friends from Vegas, of course, my friends from Pawn Stars on History Channel. They're a lot of fun. And I hope you're watching me on that show. That show's a lot of fun. Pawn Stars Do America. Anyway, so lots of things, great pieces. Let's see what my guests have got. Don't forget, of course, that you can always submit photos of your objects at our website at drloriv.com. And there's a lot of information, a lot of research information about blue and white pottery too on the website. So just go to the research tab at drloriv.com. My guests are here. Let's see what else they've got. Hi,
hello again.
You? What's happening?
I'm good. I found this bowl.
You found this bowl?
Yeah.
I like that bowl.
At Goodwill.
I like that bowl.
A rose medallion.
Back up a little bit for me. There you go. What's your name?
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Where are you today?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hot Atlanta. Okay. I like this. Yes. Rose medallion style. Can I see the other side, like the underside of the bowl?
Yeah.
Clear as day. No mark at all.
No.
Questionable, right? No mark at all.
Yeah. Is it? Was there a Ross sticker on it, or?
Or TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something like that. I do think it's a big reproduction of course, that style, but it's not hurting anybody. You know, how big is it?
10 inches.
10 inches. So it's pretty big. How did you acquire it?
Goodwill.
How much did you pay?
$4.
Are you keeping it for yourself or would you resell it?
I got it sold on Goodwill, on eBay.
You already sold it on eBay?
Yeah, now I sold it in like 10 minutes, so I kind of wanted to know what it was after I did that.
So how much did you sell it for? Why didn't you see me before you listed it?
I got ahead of myself.
That's okay. That's okay. So how much did you sell it for?
$50.
You sold it for 50? Okay. So a couple of things about it. First of all, everybody's looking for a mark, and sometimes the marks are not what you should be looking for. So what you're looking at here is a very nice applied decoration in the flowers and in the birds. The blue, I don't like at all. I think the blue is a later addition. I think the piece probably dates sometime to the 1920s. And I would say value on it, and I'm going to get you upset, but value on it about $200.
And it's better than what I was worrying.
Well, it really pays to get an appraisal first.
I will learn. I've learned a lesson.
Well, you've learned a lesson because, you know, but on the same token, it's a nice piece and you were able to pick out a nice piece, which is great. The other thing I would say that if you are looking into Asian ceramics, it's very difficult with Asian ceramics. And I would say that you really want to do a little bit more research on our website and also with my videos, watching a couple more of those. So you can say, before I start listing these things and not knowing, you can really get into trouble. You can also get into trouble, you know, following folks who are listing. Thanks very much. When you're following folks on some of these platforms that are listing things as if they know and they're wrong. I was doing an appraisal, you know, today, and I found a lot of misinformation that a lot of people were taking as accurate. And I had to, of course, go through and correct it. So too bad you're going to lose some money on that. But, you know, next time you'll know to get the appraisal first. Anyway, and again, video calls are also one of the options if you want to, of course, do that as well as this show. Mary, it's always great to talk with you. It's great to talk with all of you guys who are finding objects, reselling objects, as well as building your own collections. A lot of people are doing it for charities. They're finding pieces and then they're actually supporting charities with their finds. And the treasure hunt is always a lot of fun, but I enjoy very much the video calls and the classes. And of course, this show to, of course, teach you guys what you've got and what it's really worth. So yeah, that was a nice piece. But you know, she might have moved forward with that bowl because there wasn't a mark. She said, well, I can't find the mark, so it can't be worth much. That's a big mistake. Just because it's marked doesn't mean, just because it's not marked doesn't mean it's not valuable. Just because it's not signed doesn't mean it's not valuable. So be careful of that. But my guests are here. Let's see what they've got. Got a lot of diversity tonight. A lot of glare on this. I'm seeing a portion. I'm seeing an image that looks like a barn or a building of some sort. But, well, tell me a little bit about it. We're going to have some problems with this.
I got it at Goodwill for $2.49.
What's your name, hon?
My name's Amy. I'm calling from upstate New York.
Hi, Amy.
I got two of them. One is signed Frank Ceratoni, and this one is not signed.
Okay. Can you tilt it downward? And show me the back.
It's just framed.
That's a Nielsen frame from the 1980s. Those metal frames are called Nielsen frames. And does it have a mat? I don't see a mat.
It's not matted, but there's pencil on the bottom. I looked through the loop. There's no dots.
So it's an offset lithograph. It's still a print, but it's an offset lithograph. And not seeing dots is one of the things, but it's not the only thing.
Right.
And it's because of how you'll notice if you look at there's sort of an imaginary linear element like a mat within a mat, even though there's no piece. even though there's no actual mat on top of it.
Right.
That's what you're seeing. And that's one of the ways that you can tell if you have an offset lithograph or not. And again, you know, here when you're using your cameras and all the rest of this, to have, of course, the glass on it, it gives a lot of reflection in certain places. And it looks like you're in some kind of tile. Maybe you're in a bathroom because there's a lot of light kind of thing. But it looks as if that's what the problem is. So you think it might be the work of this artist, but it's not signed. Is that your situation?
I got 2 of them, and they're framed the same, and they're very similar.
Okay, so you think it's the same artist?
This one's signed.
What? Yeah, I can't see both of them at all because you're right on top of your camera, and you know you got some. They look like they could be the same printer. Yeah, they could be the same artist, the same printer. Looks like the same technique. You know, kind of a run-of-the-mill landscape painting. How big is it?
They're about, I want to say they're 18 by 24.
How much do you think the first one is worth? The one you showed me first that's unsigned. How much do you think it's worth?
I don't know. I paid $5 for both of them. So
put the second one down. How much do you think the first one is worth? Give me a number.
150.
What?
Maybe 150.
$150 for that lithograph of a no-name artist who didn't sign his work with an okay, you know, an okay maybe composition.
I don't know.
See, if I say it that way, you're like, oh no, it's not this. I would say value on that piece is no more than $60 in the frame, and I think the frame is probably worth 30 of it. I'd say $30 for that piece.
All right, great.
But you paid $5. Right? You get a piece that's worth 6 times that.
Right.
So you're still ahead. You're still ahead. I would just say, first of all, you want to look for original works of art. And then you want to look on my research pages about what are the techniques and what are the tricks to identify, of course, prints. There's a lot of videos on this channel about how I teach you about prints. Go to the search right here on this channel. There's a search right here on YouTube. And then just put in the word prints, and it's going to show you what to look for and what I'm looking for to teach you how to identify the great ones. Thanks so much for that. I'm Dr. Lori. It's good to be with you. Thanks for being with me. Thanks to everybody for your support. See you next time.